As Robert H. Schuller once said, failure doesn't mean you are a failure, it just means you haven't succeeded yet. This message rings true for everyone, whether you're a student who's flunked an exam, a musician who hasn't yet landed that record deal, or an entrepreneur whose business didn't take off as planned. Failure is an essential part of life. It is not a dead-end street, but rather a stepping stone towards success. In this video, we're going to explore the power of failure. We'll delve into inspiring stories of individuals who initially experienced defeat but refused to be defined by it. These are the people who took their failures, learned from them, and transformed them into successes. They understood that failure is simply a part of the journey, not the final destination. So buckle up and prepare to be inspired. Let's dive into the world of these brave individuals who dared to fail and rose above their struggles. Our first story is about a woman named Jane who faced numerous rejections in her career. Jane was a woman of ambition and dreams, just like many of us. She was armed with a degree, a wealth of knowledge, and a burning desire to make a difference. But life didn't go as planned. Job after job, interview after interview, she was met with the cold sting of rejection. It seemed like every door she knocked on was slammed in her face. She felt like a failure, a feeling that many of us are all too familiar with. But here's where Jane's story takes a turn. One day, she looked at the pile of rejection letters on her table and thought, if no one will give me a chance, I will create one for myself. And so, she did. She transformed the bitterness of her rejections into the zest of her new venture. The lemons life had given her were now the key ingredient in her lemonade stand. A metaphorical one, of course. Jane started her own business, putting in her blood, sweat, and tears. She faced hardships, she faced doubts, but she also faced them with an unyielding determination. She was no longer waiting for opportunities, she was creating them. Slowly but surely, her business started to bloom. What began as a small venture born out of rejections grew into a thriving enterprise. Jane's lemonade stand was now a symbol of her perseverance, her resilience, and her courage. She was no longer the woman who was rejected, she was now the woman who rejected the idea of giving up. Her story is a testament to the fact that failure is not the end of the road, but a detour leading you to your destination. It's about turning the sour lemons of life into a sweet success story. It's about never feeling like a loser, even when the world tells you otherwise. Jane's story teaches us that sometimes the doors that close on us lead us to the right path. So when life gives you lemons, remember Jane and make your own lemonade. Next we meet John, who faced a major setback in his personal life. John was an ordinary guy, living an ordinary life, or so it seemed, but one day the rug was pulled out from under him. He found himself in the throes of a painful divorce. The family he had built was crumbling around him. He was, in his own words, a ship lost at sea. John felt like a failure. His dreams of a happy family life were shattered. He felt like he had let himself down, and worse, he felt like he had let his loved ones down. It was a dark time for him. But as he navigated through this storm, he realized something crucial. His feelings of failure were not the end, they were the beginning. John took this painful experience and used it as a catalyst for self-improvement. He invested time in himself, rediscovering his passions, honing his skills, and building his self-esteem. He found solace in books, music, and fitness, things he had loved in his younger years but had lost touch with. He learned to appreciate his own company, to enjoy his own space. As he worked on himself, he began to see the world with new eyes. John's journey was not easy, but he was resilient. He didn't let his past define his future. He didn't let his failures define his worth. Instead, he used them as stepping stones, as lessons to learn and grow from. He realized that his failure was not a permanent state, but a temporary setback. He learned to see it as an opportunity, a chance to rise again, stronger and better, and rise he did. John found happiness again, not in the arms of another, but within himself. He built a life he was proud of, a life that was a true reflection of who he was. He became a phoenix rising from the ashes of his past, soaring high and proud. John's story shows us that even when life knocks us down, we have the power to rise again, stronger and better. Now that we've heard these inspiring stories, it's your turn to overcome your feelings of failure. Feeling like a loser is not a life sentence. It's simply a state of mind, a temporary setback that you have the power to change. You have the ability to turn the tide in your favor. How, you ask? Well, by applying some of the strategies we discussed in this video. First and foremost, perseverance. When life knocks you down, you get back up. When it pushes you, you push back harder. This is not a call for blind stubbornness, but a plea for relentless pursuit of your goals. Remember, the only surefire way to fail is to stop trying. Next, determination. This is the fuel that keeps your engine running. It's the will to keep going when everything seems to be against you. It's the stubborn refusal to accept defeat. Determination is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who don't. And finally, resilience. This is the ability to recover quickly from difficulties. It's the capacity to bounce back from failure and come back even stronger. It's the grit that allows you to face adversity head on and say, "Is that all you've got?" Now, you don't have to climb Mount Everest tomorrow. Take small steps towards your goals, set realistic expectations, and celebrate every little victory. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and most importantly, don't be afraid of failures. They're not there to discourage you, but to make you stronger. They are not obstacles, but stepping stones towards your success. And when you do fail, remember to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep going. Because failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of it. Remember, you're not defined by your failures, but by how you rise after falling. So get out there, face your fears, chase your dreams, and make your mark. And when you do, don't forget to come back and share your progress in the comments. We'd love to hear your story.